tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Donatello from the upcoming Ninja Turtles movie. Taking a look at the packaging first, you can see that right up in the front, you got Donatello wearing a pair of regular glasses, which is really kind of goofy looking, honestly. He also does have the goggles on the top. That's actually molded on the figure itself, but he's not wearing regular glasses, but he's got like a little Bluetooth. I love all the little gadgets he has. So very Donatello-ish. And then you got Mikey, Raph, and of course Leo there as well. Come around to the back of the packaging, you got all the characters, including Splinter, April O'Neil, the Shredder, the Foot Soldiers, and then all four of the Turtles themselves. In addition to that, you get a little bit of a read-up that it doesn't really give anything away for the story, just is basically the same kind of story that we've gotten forever with the Ninja Turtles, that being they're in New York, they're fighting crime because crime's on the rise, and Shredder's there. So if you'd like to read it, go ahead and pause it, and you can read it right now. Beyond that, that's about it for the packaging. So, like I said, I'm really very excited about this movie. I do not personally have any problem whatsoever with how these new characters look for us. It's very weird to me that people will whine and cry about how they look, yet they don't have any problem with the current cartoon version of April O'Neil being half mutant Krang and having psychic abilities, but whatever. So, beyond that, that's about it, though, for the packaging. So let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Donatello open up and out of its packaging. And as I mentioned previously, all of these turtle figures were acquired at my local Target. The price was $8.99, and they were put out ahead of the street date. I believe the street date is early part of July, somewhere around like the 7th or something like that. But if you can't find them in stores, go ahead, as always, click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Big Bad Toy Store where you can pre-order yours. And cut out that whole hunting thing, which some people like doing that. But figure-wise, this one I really do enjoy. Now, Donatello is no secret. He's my favorite. He always has been. And this character, or characterization of him, really does kind of suit him. You come around here to the back, and you can see that he's got this molded bit of just technology here. Really very cool. You got a very soft hose right here coming up here to what looks like some kind of a softer it almost looks like it's a handle for something, but obviously this doesn't detach or anything. You got a little soft rubber antenna there. He's got the goggles on there. Looks like he's got something that's coming down here on this side that's not painted, and then on this side a little Bluetooth kind of headset sort of thing. His bow almost looks like it's meant to be some kind of piece of electronic just by itself. It's not a wooden staff. It's kind of almost like it's an antenna or some kind of a rod like that, but you can see that it is molded pretty nicely. The biggest thing is it is all molded in just this color, so you don't really get an appreciation for what's a handle on here and what's not. So setting that off to the side. Oh, and again, there is no real storage for it. I guess you could maybe just loop it through his wire here. Yeah, I guess you could do something like that. It doesn't even, I don't even think it clips here or anything on there. I mean, that just doesn't do nothing. But you got all these other little pouches and things around his belt. You got some nice armor pieces around there, but you can plainly see that Donnie is a thinner character, which I guess fits with him, in my opinion, a little bit better because he's going to be a little nerdy. So instead of working out all the time, he's probably playing with his gadgets. So he's a little bit thinner of a guy. You can see it mostly here in the legs, but the thing that you can see also is there's a lot of missing paint applications. You can see some straps right here that are just completely not painted. You got some on the upper part of his thigh as well, not painted. You come around here to the lower section, like his shin area, you can see it painted right there, but then when you come around to the back, it stops. You can see where the mold continues on, but there is no paint there, and that's really very unfortunate. It's kind of lazy, if you ask me. When you look at all the other paint applications that this does have, it does look nice, but that just looks ugly. Then you come down here, he's wearing just kind of black boots again. There's some straps on there that don't look like they're painted. I can't really tell. It almost looks like his toes are hanging out, but they're not painted green. I mean, you can kind of make out where there's a separation between where the boot would be and then like his toe, but his toe, and you can see the toenail on there as well, and it's not painted, so it's really unfortunate. But you can see a distinct look with this guy as well. Much like all the other characters or figures, their individual molds all represent their characters nicely, and I think this one really does as well. For his articulation, it is pretty much the same as all the other ones. He does have this soft bandana that some people, I mean, it's like floating back like there, so people don't really see it. He's not wearing glasses, and I've heard some people complain, well, why does he need glasses, or where does a turtle get a prescription for glasses? If you look at the video that we've seen, they're pieced together. It's like there's a big giant thing of tape that are holding them together. They may not necessarily be glasses. They might just be pieces of glass that he stuck together to make glasses. I mean, there's a lot of junk in the sewers. He might have found two broken pieces of glass or glasses and taped them together. So he doesn't necessarily have to. I love how everybody just overanalyzes everything that they see and then wants to pick at it. Just enjoy the movie, have fun with it, for the love of God. So his articulation, it does just kind of rotate. Again, you can sort of pop that joint a little, get him to, and that actually kind of looks cool like that. Kind of dig that. You can sort of get that action going. The shoulders move all the way around. It gets a little bit hampered when it gets back here where the shell is, but you can move it around. Moves in and out on both sides. Bends here at the elbow, rotates at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Hips move forward and back. They move in and out if you rotate it. There's a little bit more articulation here because you don't have quite as much stuff around his waist, so it works a little bit better. He bends here at the knee, and he also rotates at the knee. Now, this is a figure where, for me, I really wish he had wrist articulation, because with this staff, if you're holding it, there's no real good way to make him look like he's using it as a weapon, unless, I mean, you can't even have him just standing here with it, because you can't rotate that wrist to get him, like, for example, here, and this is where you would like to be able to rotate it to be able to get him to hold it straight up like this. You can't even really do that on here because the wrists are in this angle, and as you can sort of see. So getting him to hold it is kind of goofy looking. I mean, you could do something like this, I guess, and that doesn't look too, but it really doesn't have a good look, and I think a lot of it is just because the articulation in the wrist is lacking. That's one piece that I think would benefit, or this is one piece that I really would think would benefit from having that articulation there in the wrist. Now, for some size comparisons, since we've now seen them all, we're going to set Donatello right to the back, and here are all four of the turtles, and again, you can see just how awesome they look with their specific molding. I mean, again, Mikey's the small guy, probably the youngest. You got Donnie, who's a lot skinnier and lanky, like a nerd would be. Raph is a much more bulky kind of guy, like a bodybuilder, somebody who really is focused on getting strong. Leo here is a little bit more lean. So these guys look great, and you can see that Donnie is actually the tallest out of all four of these. So bringing these guys front to back like so, just so that we can get a better appreciation for that. You can see that Raph is probably the next biggest, and maybe it's kind of hard to tell. These two guys are really close to their size, but you can see that Donnie is taller, and obviously Mikey is much smaller. And here you have him next to the 2012 version of himself, specifically the Battle Shell one. And again, you can see that there is a good size difference. These movie figures are bigger, and Donatello is the tallest even in this line. So you get a nice appreciation for how much taller this guy is. So really very cool. And then for a final comparison, because I forgot to bring him in with the other movie figures, here we have Donnie next to the new Shredder. And again, you can see just how much taller Shredder is by comparison to the actual turtles themselves. Now again, much like Michelangelo, Donnie is not my favorite of the four turtles. Honestly, Raph probably is my favorite in terms of their new look toy-wise. But that does not mean that this still does not look terrific. Continuing on that theme about their character traits really coming through in the way that the figure looks, I think Donnie here hits that on the head. With all the tech stuff, I love it. I mean, he's a geeky nerd, and I love seeing that here in the toy. Even though a lot of people complain about it, as my favorite character, I was on the fence about it initially, but having it in hand, I'm really very impressed. So far, all these Ninja Turtle figures have really blown me away. There are still some paint problems that it's just indicative of Playmates. I mean, we're kind of used to that by now. but it still looks terrific. These guys are really fun and I love having them. So if you are interested in getting them, really don't hesitate, guys. Even if the movie design isn't your thing, these are a little bit different enough from the movie to be enjoyable. I really hope that you guys give them a chance. As I said, they are showing up in some places such as Target. So if you can get out and find them, good luck. But Big Bad Toy Store is always an option. So as I said earlier, go ahead and click on that link down in the video description. You can pre-order these guys, and when they come out, you can have them delivered right to your door. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus or by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, as well as see what I have coming up for future release. And please, if you like this review, don't forget to rate, comment, and share this video. And until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later.